Hey everyone. Well, we are going to continue these readings for the Scorpio new moon that's coming up. I believe it's tomorrow. Yeah, it's tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. So, you guys, we are almost coming up on Scorpio season. Depending on where you are in the world and what astrology you follow, we are coming up on Scorpio season sooner than later. But others of you, if you follow more Vedic astrology or sidereal astrology, you may be following, the seasons differently. So there are others of you, you consider us still being in Libra season until mid-November. So again, these messages are intended to resonate either way. We are talking specifically about the Scorpio new moon and what it has in store for you, what it needs you to focus on internally, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Okay, so that way, once you've mastered those aspects, you are then able to maneuver and navigate the world around you in the physical 3D realm. So we are going to start with the we're going to go ahead and start with the fire signs for today. We are going to start off with Aries. Hello, Aries. Sun, moon, and rising placements. If you are wondering what I'm shaking in my hand, it is a die. And we're going to go ahead and see what the Scorpio new moon has in store for you. We're going to see what my ancestors want to relay to you as far as what they are gathering regarding the forecast of this Scorpio new moon in the month of October, moving into November of this year. So ancestors of light, messengers of light, what messages do we have for Aries, sun, moon, and rising signs for this Scorpio new moon that is coming up? Okay. So Aries, also remember that I am reading for both Western and sidereal astrological charts. Please check your moon and or rising placements for deeper resonance, okay? But I am intending for these messages to resonate with both or all three sun, moon, and rising placements. You guys received the anchor. There's been a lot of zodiac signs so far that I've read for, specifically this reading for the Scorpio new moon, that have gotten the anchor. So Scorpio is really pushing us to go inside. I mean, that's Scorpio in general. Scorpio is very patient. Scorpio is responsible for the inner knowing, inner transformation, embracing the uncomfortable so that you can be comfortable, right? It's really experiencing the aches and pains, or Scorpio forces us to do something about the aches and pains that we're trying to kind of mask. Scorpio is all about exposing lies, like bringing the truth out, especially during uncomfortable times, about uncomfortable topics, uncomfortable situations. Okay, comfortability for Scorpio is not, it's not at the forefront, Aries. So you receiving the anchor, again, is a telltale sign to me that you, and I believe Scorpio got this as well. If you have Scorpio in your chart, take a look at Scorpio's reading. It's earth and water working together to bring balance. It's after a while of floating within your emotions, navigating those waters, deep waters within yourself, you're in the spirit realm or in the dream realm, really daydreaming, or even like actually dreaming in your sleep of the things that you want, opportunities that you want to be presented to you, opportunities that you want to experience. Okay, navigating that realm swimming in those waters, being brave enough to swim in those waters and learn from your journey, but also making sure that you're not at risk of going adrift. Okay. Earth, if you have any friends or family members who have strong earth in their chart or who are very grounded, those are the people that you may need to keep close at this time during this new moon phase, during the rest of October until around mid-November, or at least until the next full moon. So we have a lot of death during this new moon that, you know, for that cycle, especially for the first 2 or 3 nights, a lot of death that we need to face. Anytime Scorpio shows itself to you, Aries, you got to face things that are kind of rotting. They're kind of gone stale. They're stagnant. There's stale water. Some of you guys, you know, maybe emotionally or financially, or there's some type of stale water that you're kind of sitting in. It sounds gross, but it's like that's the type of image that comes to mind. Aries, for you guys, for this Scorpio new moon. And you guys are fire, right? So that's that, you know, that leadership, that nurturing energy, wanting to keep yourself warm, and also probably keeping other people warm around you. People that you feel you can trust. But it's also, you know, Scorpio is like, yeah, that's great, keeping people warm, but at the same time, there may be some things that you do need to face about your past, some things you need to face about yourself presently that have a stench, you know, they're not really bringing the energies that help bear fruit. Does that make sense? All right, ancestors, what more can you speak to Aries about for this Scorpio new moon energy for them? Also taking your time. One thing my ancestors have kind of shown me with these particular readings is like, sometimes I'm like, why haven't they chosen any cards yet? And they just let me talk. There's a card. They let me talk throughout the reading because they're showing me like, just slow down. This is not the time to try to force anything. New moons are not the time to try to force anything. I mean, it's a time to go within. It's a time to go into your cave, go into your cubby hole, go into your sanctum, go into your temple, close the doors, right? Turn the porch light off, so to speak, and like, we're closed. We're going inside to rest. We're going inside to meditate, to pray for however long. That's the energy that I'm getting right now, Aries. And it's interesting, you got a card that has the lantern. So like I said, turning the lights off from the outside, but on the inside, the lights are on. So it's like there's something inside of you where the lights need to be turned on. A fire needs to be lit from the inside. So on the outside, Scorpio is saying, okay, yeah, there's a lot of things that you've been doing. There's a lot of things that you want to accomplish. There's a lot of things that you're expecting, but there's still some things inside of your temple, inside of your house, within your sanctum, right, that need cleaning. This can also, you know, veer into your physical life. Maybe there is some deep cleaning that you need to do. Maybe you need to put your phone on Do Not Disturb so that you can focus. Maybe you need to not worry about your text messages or answering, you know, emails all at once. Maybe there's something that really needs your focus and you really need to stop yourself. You need to anchor yourself so that you can really zoom in on it. And the card that you received is Lost. So like I was saying, you are at risk if you don't anchor yourself, if you don't ground yourself, Aries, under this Scorpio new moon, which this seems like this is the theme for everybody, according to what my ancestors are saying for the constellation, with those born under the constellation of Aries. You are at risk of getting lost. Having a hard time finding help within a situation. There could be a situation that you could get yourself so deep into that you lose yourself so much that it's really difficult for anybody to really help you within that situation and you may need to get out of the situation. So in order for anybody to help you when you're lost, in a way, you kind of have to know where you were going. You have to know where you came from, right? Like, what is the objective here? Kind of backtrack a little bit, kind of trace your steps. If it's a relationship, if it's a job, if it's a career, you kind of have to go back to the drawing board if you're kind of lost in the sauce, or if you've kind of lost yourself or kind of lost your way and you're just like, why did I get into this relationship in the first place? What was I looking for? And if you feel that you've kind of lost yourself in some negative aspects of a relationship or of a situation, then yeah, go back to the drawing board. And if you realize that what you've gotten yourself into, or the expectations that you've placed on something, on someone, or a relationship of some kind, or on a job or a career path, if you realize that your expectations are a little bit too high, you may need to go back and readjust. That can definitely lead to breakups. This is a year number 9, but October is a month number 1. It's a year number 9. 2025 is a year number 9. It's a year of endings. So if you find yourself in a relationship that you can't really see yourself growing within or from, then maybe that's your time to exit or kind of check out. Some of you guys may not be leaving a relationship physically just yet, but you're kind of checked out. It's to be expected, right? Some of you guys, your greatest fear happened within a situation. And now you have to kind of figure out how to start over. Okay? Lean on Scorpio to help you through this. And every single moon throughout this moon phase of the new moon, every 2 or 3 days, kind of understand what the moon is speaking to you about every single time it visits each constellation before we hit the full moon. And even before we even hit the next new moon in the next 30 days. So there are some of you guys, you are lost in the sauce of something, or you're lost. Maybe there's some codependent behavior happening for some of you. Something has become a crutch. And now Scorpio is here to kick that crutch from underneath you. There's something that you've really been leaning on and depending on, and Scorpio is here to chop it off or completely discard it for you. And that's hard. And whatever you've been holding on to up until this point, Scorpio, the Scorpio new moon is asking that you face it and realize that this is a fear that you have, and that's why you're holding so tightly to this. Because you're afraid that if you let it go and allow it to float or move the way it wants to move, you may be afraid that it may choose to float or move away from you. And if so, so be it. That's just how it's supposed to be. Okay? That's it. If it's a person that you're worried that if you hold on to them tight enough that they're going to stay, that's probably not the best relationship for you. If there is someone that you want to keep in your life and you're doing the work to keep them, or you're doing the work to show them that you care, but they still kind of, when you let them go, they leave, there is nothing that you can do about that. And you shouldn't blame yourself for that. Don't blame yourself for that, right? I'm also getting maybe this is the time to stop trying to please this person. Fix yourself, heal yourself, and move accordingly. And if these people or this person loves you and cares about you, right? Whatever is meant for you, whether it's money, whether it's a job, a career, any type of opportunity, a relationship, it will find its way. It will make sure that it sticks with you. If there is a time where you need to kind of part ways for a little bit temporarily or take a break from something, if it belongs to you and it is meant to be with you, it will come back. Like, there are certain things, if you throw it, it just won't come back. You have to go get it. And there are other things like boomerangs. You throw it, it's going to come back. But you have to be willing to toss it. You have to be willing to let it exit your hand in order for it to come back. Or at least meet you halfway, come back halfway, right? So there's something that you're afraid of. There's something that you are looking for. You want to know the truth. You want to see the truth of the matter, but it's quite possible that some of you Aries, the truth may hurt a little bit too much, but you're just like, I want to know, right? But don't force it. Don't force anything to happen. Don't force anyone's hand. Don't force anyone's answer or response. Okay? Scorpio is also in Mars, Jupiter. Jupiter is in Scorpio, Mars is in Scorpio, and Mercury's in Scorpio, and so is Lilith. So whatever needs to be shown, whatever needs to be said, whatever needs to be exposed, whether it's on your end or someone else's end, it will come out. If you want to find out, if you want to know if someone likes you or cares about you or loves you the way you love them, that will show itself clearly. Just may not be on the terms or the time that you feel it should. Okay? You get to decide where you give your time and attention. You get to decide that, Aries, not someone else, right? If there are people in your life that you really love and care about, and you want to give them your attention, right? And they're showing you that they love and care about you and they want you to grow. Those are the people you should pay attention to, right? That's up to you. But if you have people who may not have shown you that they really do care about you, but you're trying so hard to show them that you care about them, then maybe those are the people that you kind of need to, again, release. Throw them, like toss that out into the universe. And if it's meant to come back to you and it's meant to be given your attention in a healthy way, then yeah. But if whatever you're tossing out comes back to you and is still bringing the same unhappiness and the same sadness, the same wounds and the same pain, then maybe that's something that you need to continue to toss back and say, no, I'm good. I don't want that. Okay? All right, we're gonna pull a couple more cards, and then after we pull the rest of your cards from the tarot, I'm gonna pull a button for you guys, or sift through some buttons with some symbols on it. You received Libra, so some of you guys, Libra is very significant to you. I believe Libra is actually your sister sign or your brother sign. So maybe as we are still in the season of Libra, as I'm reading this to you, there's more to know, there's more to experience, there's more to find out, there's more accountability, there's more truth to be told or more truth to be heard. And yes, this is a time for relationships, okay? This is a time to really focus on your own beauty. If you're comparing yourself to other people, again, that's something that needs to be addressed, that is within you. You may need to sit and write in a journal some of your triggers when it comes to your looks and how you may compare yourself to other people, especially in your relationship, in your romantic partnerships. So if you have somebody that you have trust issues with, or you feel like they're not making you the primary focus because they maybe have a wandering eye, or they may be looking elsewhere, maybe they're not cheating, or they're not necessarily, maybe they are in love with you, but they just have a hard time staying focused on you and the relationship or your children or whatever, and they're focused more on work, what have you. There are some triggers there that you probably need to address with yourself, Aries, okay? Okay. This is all about togetherness. So if you're in a relationship, a committed one specifically, you need to make sure that you are working with your partner, not on your own. Not on your own. When it comes to your household and marriage or a committed partnership, you need to make sure that whatever decisions you make is with your partner, right? So if it's about the kids, if it's about your joint finances, about buying a car, if it's about buying a home or anything, if it's about you traveling somewhere and you're in a committed relationship, I feel like this is a good time during this new moon to make sure that your partner knows what's going on. And it's vice versa. Okay. If it's a business partnership and if it has anything to do with business decisions, make sure that your business partners know what's happening with the budget or with the money or with whatever is being purchased, whatever is being sold, inventory, things like that, or any type of business movement. Cooperation is so important. Fairness is so important. So if you're doing something, Aries, that's not fair to the group or not fair to your partner, or if they're not, it's both ends. So Libra is here to show you any type of unfairness that's happening in your relationship, whether it's on your end or your partner's end or both, whether it's on your end in a business sense or on both parties' end, that needs to be addressed. People need to apologize. People need to hold themselves accountable and not be biased. Okay. How are you contributing to the situation in a positive or a negative way? How can you contribute to a better outcome within any conversation you have with your business partner or any conversation you have with your friends or family situation or a legal situation, or even, you know, again, with your romantic partnerships, with your husband, your wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, fiance, baby mama, baby daddy. Okay. Oop. Yep, we got the Tower. There we go. We got Scorpio. We have the Tower, the all-seeing eye. Nothing gets past Scorpio, and nothing gets past Libra either. Really. You know, Scorpio is like really the all-seeing eye, but Libra, you know, it's not that Libra's really like zooming in on all of us. It's just when we approach Libra, or when Libra sees that the divine scales are tipping too much in your life, that's when Libra's like, okay, we need to do something about this, right? But Scorpio is kind of like the all-seeing eye, right? Scorpio is just out here just looking like, oh, that looks kind of dark. That looks kind of bad. We need to do something about this. We need to, you know, get quality control in here, right? So there is no getting away with bad behavior. And if anyone that you're involved with thinks that they are going to get away with bad behavior, including yourself, okay, let's all this reading is telling me point the finger at yourself as well, Aries. Even though you may feel wronged and you may be the victim here in any situation, if there is victimhood here, still point the finger at yourself and understand, how can I learn from this? What could have I done better? Should I just stayed away from this person? Why am I so obsessed with this situation? Like, how can I just back off and just like take care of myself, right? And be more focused on myself, instead of being more focused on the outcome. Lies will be exposed. Truth will be revealed. Any type of cheating behavior, stealing, what have you, is not going to go uncovered. Okay? It won't. So make sure that you are in good standing with Scorpio and with Libra, because you will be called out. Everybody is going to get called out. Again, it's the year number 9. So endings have to happen before year number 1. Because if you don't end things on a year number 9, by the time you get to year number 1, it is going to be hell. Okay? Okay, so we have the 5 of Pentacles. So when it comes to work, when it comes to money, when it comes to teamwork, and, you know, anything financial, you have a lot of worries. You have a lot of things that you really are concerned with. You may be obsessed with it. And it could be in a romantic partnership, could be with your family, a friend relationship, a business partnership, your job, with a boss, a coworker, whatever. Your worries will be laid to rest. They will be laid to rest. Be patient. Face your fears. Okay? Journal. Write things down, however you're feeling about your partner, or if you're having some fears about being cheated or being stolen from or taken advantage of, or, you know, what have you. If you have fears about, you know, I'm not going to make it, or I'm never going to get married, I'm never going to have children, write it down. Write down everything that you are triggered by, everything that you're worried about. Cry about it. And leave it up to God to take care of. Leave it up to your ancestor to take care of it. Scorpio sees your ancestors, your creator, whoever you believe in as a higher power. They see what you're thinking about. They see what you're going through. However, they want to see what you're going to do about it. Are you going to sit there and obsess over it and just be sad about it and angry and carry that with you? Or are you going to release it and just live your life? And whoever is meant to live it with you will live it with you. It will be their choice, right? So anything that you're trying to push on someone, or you're trying to push somebody to improve, stop doing it. Okay, let's go ahead and pull a button for you guys. Okay. So you kind of have this little thing. It's called, it's number 63. It's like a little claw machine, right? It's like something that's picking up a ball, dropping it, picking up things, dropping it. You may feel like this claw machine. You may feel like, you know, you're kind of like slipping through someone's fingers, or you feel like someone else is slipping through your fingers. You just kind of feel like you're being picked up and dropped off, picked up and drop off, and you don't really feel like you're being held by someone, or held by a company, or held by a business partnership. That could be a problem. Okay. So there's trust issues for sure. Definitely a balancing act here with number 73. Okay. Reaping what you sow. Okay. So be careful what you are sowing. Whether it be seeds that you're sowing, or something that you are creating, or, you know, making in your life, making a tapestry of a story. You have to make sure you understand how you want that story to begin, how you want it to end. Okay. And you have the tree. And this tree is growing, but this is a fall season tree. There's no leaves on it. So you can see growth soon, but right now you need to focus on what needs to die in your life. Okay. You need to focus on that. That's very, 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 very important. All right. Now, we also have Go Team. Teamwork is so important. Make sure that you're working with people who really want to be on a team, and they're all in, right? You don't have to hold their hand. They're just all in. They show up when you show up, if not before you, right? And I'm also seeing like this is like a potion and a knife, you know? And then we have the snake. So underneath something in your life, Aries, you kind of feel like someone is not being honest with you. You feel that you're being lied to, and to some degree. And this Scorpio new moon is really going to have you pondering that and really wanting some answers. But just write it down. Just write it down. Everything that you need to be exposed, every answer that you feel you need right now, it will be given to you. Okay. And maybe you just need to quietly walk away from someone, or just detach because you're not getting what you feel you deserve. Okay. Much love and light to all of you. I wish you guys the very best of luck on this journey. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I hope to see you guys in your next reading. Bye, y'all.